Simon John Hickey installs downlights and air conditioners for a living. But in his spare time, this tradie likes to ruffle a few feathers, and he doesn't seem bothered about the nickname he's earned for his radical views.
Are you the Nazi Sparky?
Am I the Nazi Sparky?
Yeah, just want to ask about some of the pretty extreme things you're putting online.
This is Simon John Hickey, electrician, Trump supporter.
On your fake news, mate. You like CNN, fake news,
Neo-Nazi.
You think you're ever going to stop lying to the Australian public?
I don't think it's lies. I think you're putting stuff online that's really offensive, racist.
He's also the subject of a fair trading investigation.
How's your electrician business going? I find that hard to believe.
But perhaps most disturbingly, Simon Hickey is a Holocaust denier.
You need to produce some evidence that there was a Holocaust.
So you are a neo-Nazi?
There's been a very disturbing campaign of Holocaust denial.
He's clearly not wired right.
At first glance, the website for Simon Hickey's small business, Smurf Electrical, seems fairly unassuming. But look closer. It's clear the site's owner is nothing short of a racist.
This is deeply offensive. It's troubling.
Dvir Abramovich is the chairman of the Anti-Defamation Commission, an organisation run by the Jewish community which aims to combat all forms of racism.
We've seen an explosion and a surge in anti-Semitic activity, but also in white supremacist activity.
In what might be the most bizarre advertising campaign by an Aussie tradie, Simon Hickey has made his electrician business the major sponsor of a notorious neo-Nazi website based in the United States.
The Daily Stormer, on which Simon Hickey publishes materials and supports, is a cesspool of racism.
There are the calls for a race war, the vile references to Jewish people, and the outrageous denials that the World War II Holocaust ever occurred.
I believe there were no gas chambers.
If you look at the symbol that this electrician uses on his website, it's actually of a Nazi guard standing outside Auschwitz.
There's just no place for that racism in modern society, Simon.
There's no place. Who says you?
It says a lot of people, says the wider community.
This is the electrician outside court when he was charged with using superglue to seal shut the doors of a suburban real estate office.
Well, she's been sending me harassing text messages for the last month about money that's not owed.
He was also accused of harassing his property manager and cutting the phone lines to the building, all because of an alleged dispute over his rent payments.
We didn't have any internet or any communications, and we're wondering what was going on.
Kate Grimes runs the cafe next door to the real estate office, and she says her business suffered financially when the wires were cut.
And the real estate came in next door and said, "Did you see anyone hanging around?" And I said, "Well, what's happened?" And they said, all our locks had been superglued.
When Simon Hickey faced court accused of willfully damaging the real estate office and harassing one of its staff members, the charges were dropped, with prosecutors saying there was not enough evidence to convict him. But Hickey pleaded guilty to doing the same thing in a medical practice at this shopping centre. We're told that on that occasion, the Nazi Sparky became enraged when he couldn't book an appointment. He superglued the doors closed because the Muslim doctor was away celebrating Ramadan.
I mean, people like this who are full of hate, they're irrational.
Courier Mail commentator Kylie Lang.
Well, he's extremely angry, he's obviously unhinged, and if he were an electrician wanting to come to my place, I would be putting up every kind of security I could think of.
Speaking of security, Simon Hickey claims on his website that Smurf Electrical is a one-stop shop for all things CCTV related. But customers beware. The Office of Fair Trading has confirmed to us they're investigating Hickey for installing security equipment despite not having a licence to do so.
Simon Hickey?
You like me?
Simon, Harry Clark from A Current Affair. Are you the Nazi Sparky?
When we caught up with Hickey, he was facing court again, this time accused of harassing more people online. We asked him about the drama with the real estate agent and the Muslim doctor.
The charge has been dismissed by magistrate.
But you did get convicted for putting superglue in the door of that medical centre.
And we asked him to explain his ridiculous denial of the Nazi genocide.
Just give me some evidence. The Holocaust happened. It's a simple question.
Give me some evidence that it didn't.
No, you're the one.
There are historians, there are survivors, there are people who've lived it, there are gas chambers.
You're accusing a whole race of people, which is us. You're accusing us of genocide.
He even fired up at our cameraman.
Simon, don't touch the camera.
He accused us in the mainstream media of lying to the public, making sure his fake news sign was in the picture.
Watch where the camera is, dude. Watch where the camera is.
But Hickey seems happy to share fake information about his own business. On the review website, yelp.com, Smurf Electrical is listed at the address of a completely different electrical supply company with no relationship to Smurf. Funnily enough, the company's 2 glowing reviews on that site came from people based in the US. Other reviews aren't so positive. This man says,
"Turned up at our house with a company van that had stickers on it reading, 'It's a white man's duty to protect his bloodline,' and surfaced alarm missiles on it."
Every bigot has a megaphone, and they can use Facebook, Twitter, YouTube to spread their toxic agenda.
The fact is we have to be censoring some of this stuff that's out there because it's unhelpful, it incites violence.
Simon John Hickey was fined $600 for supergluing the door of the medical centre and made to pay another $300 to repair the damage. As for the additional charges of online harassment, they're still before the court and Hickey has pleaded not guilty.